to happen, not just in the United Kingdom, but across Europe. But I do think there was also, had been huge efforts by British security.
What's new? Hi friends, this is Calpun Piso on June 3rd, 2017. This will continue to happen all over. And like I said, ad nauseam now for many, many, many years, the cause of all this is religious brain HIV, the cancer of the brain, religious psychosis. There are as many as the brain can create. All this stuff is happening here. People that have this believe in God and all these different variations, and they kill each other for it. It's just no different than the people that are schizophrenic, temporal lobe epilepsy. They're psychopaths. All of a sudden, they keep the disorder, the sickness, within themselves because they're infected with a virus, just like HIV, AIDS, the same thing. And these people infected with the virus, they look perfectly healthy, but they have the virus. And it's like they're like a walking time bomb. At any time, the virus can give them AIDS, and they die. They get skinny, and they cannot fend off disease, and the immune system is down, and they die. When a person, we all evolved mutated primates. We're animals. We're crazy primates. When we brought up, we're born lacking belief in anything, but the brain is the one that creates thinking, and we go through the imprinting period. We adopt the religious psychosis of our parents and all these different beliefs. Tons of them, and millions of them, as the brain can create. And if you start believing, you cannot tell between fact and fiction. And you have and religion is all fiction. It's all mythologies. It's just like when you're a 2 or 3 year old and you believe in irrational things, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and the Tooth Fairy and all that to be reality. And this is normal because you're trying to navigate between fact and fiction. But if you are slowly learning different things and still believing in all of a sudden in Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse or gods and angels and demons and things like that, in this 21st century, then you have a problem with the brain. And this is one way to cure this is by defining believing God, religious belief that's spread in churches, mosques, and synagogues as for the neurological disorder, for the dangerous brain cancer it is. Otherwise, you'll never cure this. They don't want to call it terrorism because it's not because of the Islam psychotics and radical Islam. They don't want to say that. No, it's all the psychosis. And it's all due to religion, religious psychosis, the cancer of the brain. All of this is due to religion. People, crazy people are crazy, and they do this stuff like that, regardless of education. And then they teach you in religious texts, they're psychotic from the 4th, 5th century, 12th century, that you're going to have a life after death. And some of them just pray to get the life after death, and you believe in Jesus and God and the blood saves and all that, and you go to church and pray. But you don't kill anybody, you do that, you're still psychotic, like an HIV positive. And then you pray all over, and they can become full-blown. And the Muslims are the same. Islam psychotic is the same thing. You go to synagogue, to a mosque, you are on the floor 5 times a day, you play on a rug, and you believe in Allah and all that. But there's different versions. And it doesn't mean you're going to kill people. It means that you're really not. But there's some versions that if you spill the blood of a person that is they blaspheme Islam and all that, and the Prophet and all the Tooth Fairies and the Mickey Mouse of Islam, then you can actually kill the person. But see, they do believe in life after death. All religions believe in life after death. And if you're going to be rewarded, because in Islam psychotic, they say that you're going to be rewarded with women and virgins and all that, and eternal life doing this stuff like all kind of sex and food and gold and palaces and all that. And if you believe in that, you're going to get that reward after you die, especially if you kill an infidel. And that will be you pass to glory, to having all this eternal sex. And believe me, sex is good because you have orgasm. And these people are anti-science. They don't know anything about biology, genetics, science, none of them. And they are tunnel vision. They see things as believing God and all that. They get in church, mosque, and synagogue. That's what they get their ignorance. They stack. They are theotarded. They stack in the 12th century. They don't evolve. And they rely on prayers and all that. All religions have prayers. All religions believe in gods. God bless you crap. And God has many, many, many names, but it's an imaginary friend. So these people are, the only way to cure this is by defining religions. All religions is a mental illness, a cancer of the brain. Even if the people don't act their religion up. And a lot of people here in London, they are Christianity infected. Many are not. Many are mentally healthy. It's atheists, and but the majority, a lot of them are Christ psychotic, and then you have Islam psychotic that immigrants come around with. They're all positive. They all believe in this stuff, but all of a sudden they might become, they call it radicalized, but it's not radicalized. They start believing in this stuff very seriously, and they start killing themselves for their God and get diversions and all that in paradise, and they commit this crazy stuff. You see, so. You see, it's like you will never cure tuberculosis or any of the disease you have if you treat the symptoms. And that's what these people are doing, treating the symptoms. They will continue to happen. You treat the symptoms. You have a wound in here. It's going to get infected. You don't realize that it's going to get infected. You have a wound, and you cover it up, and you cure it. You put stuff like that, and you cure it and keep curing it, and then you don't take penicillin, you don't ingest the drugs that are going to react against and prevent infection. If you don't do that, and you treat the outside with this neosporin or something like that, it's not going to work. You're going to get sick, and you're going to have an infection. See, the same thing, like you have a headache, you have a problem with your heart, and you treat. You put ointments around it and all that, so you don't actually go to a cardiologist and treat the whole thing. You're going to have a problem. And this is the problem. They are treating the symptoms. They are not treating the disease, which is in the brain. It's these people believing God. It's a mental illness, very dangerous. See, there's no difference between the imaginary friend or foe, irrational beliefs, in other words, apophiba, accepting all this, imaginary friend or foe, irrational belief, acceptance, at the core of all religions, at the core of schizophrenia. There's no difference. The mythologists in schizophrenia, the people that you see, all these imaginary friends and ancient aliens and stuff that you see, but the schizophrenic people that they have a problem with the brain, and they have all this delusion to be reality, and all people that ingest drugs, they also believe this stuff like that. This mythologists of the schizophrenia, temporal lobe epilepsy, depression, and all these mythologies are no different to those found in churches, in mosques and synagogues. Prayers are telepathic communication with imaginary friends, and all religions have prayers. And they all believe in life after death, all of them. Creations of the brain when it malfunctions, no different than schizophrenia. See, this is the problem. This is caput piso with facts. And everybody seems to ignore this. Ignore that we create thinking with the brain. All the problems that happen in the world is due to this, to brain, when it malfunctions. But because we all have the coronavirus. And that's in my opinion, is what created our evolution of the brain 47 million years ago. We're primates. We're crazy ones. We're freaks of nature. Nobody will tell you this. Everybody thinks we're created by gods and stuff like that. Even scientists, no. But no, we're created by speed of semen DNA from our father's penis. And we do have DNA. We have DNA, we have genes. We are related to all forms of life on the planet. There's science. It's a scientific fact. It's like 2 + 2 = 4. And look at this. And I'm not saying this myself. This was discovered in 2010. Look at this. Human genome is part-borne virus. This. We all have it. Virus actually influence our thinking. And then, guess what? Born a virus and psychiatric disorders. And this is by a doctor. And this, 2010. Missing link. 47-year-old lemur that could revolutionize with human evolution. Here, we're primates. This is a lemur. As you can see, I'm not making this up. I simply connect the dots. And a lot of scientists do not do that because they seem to have tunnel vision goggles. And that is the reason, United States of America, the Christian infected nation, with churches all over the place. Wait, who needs churches? They rape the brain of children, and they've been doing this for 400 years in the United States of America. And then what you have? You have people that believe in this crap, in all these mythologies to be reality, like the Bible and the rest of nonsense. And they still do today, in this 21st century. They don't realize that if you believe in God, you are a theotard. These things do not exist, they are mythologies. And we are, of course, part born a virus, the human genome. So there you have it. We're all crazy, we all have the virus. But the key to the cure of all this is to actually know and be aware that what we are, and that we have this virus. You cannot just completely, every time you're thinking of something, realize that a lot of viruses and bacteria and all the system in our bodies are making you create this thinking, these thoughts. So you have to be aware of it all the time, constantly aware of it. And then you'll be okay. That's the problem. And I continue with what happened in London.
A passenger near London Bridge, and just to confirm what I heard from you, you believe at least 5 or 6 people who had been hit by the van on London Bridge?
Keep in mind, all these people have brains, and the brain is the creator of thinking and believing God and irrational things like that. When it's sick, it creates these beliefs.
Today is June 3rd, 2017. Another religious psychosis, a full-blown religious psychosis-induced incident created by the brain. This is what religion does to people. Religious psychosis, the brain HIV does to people this. And they believe they're going to be in heaven, in their nirvana, with the virgins and the gold and all that. Because they all believe in life after death. If you believe in life after death, and gods and demons and angels, no matter, if you believe in that, you're a psychotic. If you believe it, you're positive. You're HIV, brain HIV positive. If you act on your delusions, then, which happens here, then you have full-blown Islam psychosis or religious psychosis, whatever the name that you choose of your imaginary friend is. Could be Christ psychosis, there are many variations. Could be Islam psychosis, the 73 sects of it. You can be Judaism psychosis, if people are not as ever. And then you have Islam psychosis, you have Hindu psychosis, you have Buddhism psychosis. As long as you believe in these imaginary friends of some sort, regardless of the name, you're sick. And this is the problem. It's very obvious in the United States of America, which is a Christianity-infected nation. And that's why you have the people running the country as psychopaths like Trump and the rest. And this is the gravest problem, when people that are psychotic and in fact are running the country. And this is very obvious. You can see what's happening. It's terrible. And they are sick. And now you have the result of religious psychosis. Don't treat the symptoms. They have to treat. It's produced in the brain. Neurologists and scientists have to declare that religious beliefs, all the beliefs, are like an HIV of the brain. In other words, they are very, very dangerous. And if you believe in God, you have a problem with the brain, and you should be treated, like you treat in depression, schizophrenia, temporal lobe epilepsy, bipolar disorder, which is very obvious in here, and all that. And then you start eliminating this. But otherwise, if you try terrorism and radical this and radical that, and and you still say God bless you and God bless America, God bless and all this crap like that, and we're going to pray for you and all that, then you're psychotic. You're curing you're just treating the symptoms. You're not curing the disease itself. And it'll continue to happen and happen and happen. I've been saying that ad nauseam for over 10 years. I've been saying this. Religion is a mental illness. It's very dangerous all over the place. It's spreading in mosques, in church, synagogues, any place of worship. People that go to churches, they have the brain theotarded, stupid, demented, and this is exactly what happens. They're believing all this stuff. They don't understand science. They don't believe in science because they're psychotic. Their brains is a problem. That's what's happening. It's happening here. It will continue to happen.
Personal tweets. The first one saying, "We need to be smart, vigilant, and tough. We need the courts to give us back our."
And see, with this Christianity-infected psychopath, Donald Trump, he's a psychotic man. He's a very sick man. And along his Christ-psychotic infected vice president, the rest of the very sick people with defective brains, all his cabinet is defective. It's incredible how dangerous to have a lunatic like that as president. And after this happened, this is what he says. Whenever the United States can do to help in London, we will be there. We are with you. God bless. See? Rest my case. The man should be committed. You have to close all the churches, synagogues, mosques, anybody that believes in God, you put them in a mental institution. You treat them like treat people with depression, schizophrenia, psychosis, and all that stuff, because they are dangerous and they cannot lead countries and they cannot be doctors. You have to eliminate all the Christian institutions in the country. They are sick people, and they, Brigham Young University, all that. It's very difficult because they all control everything. And in England, the Queen of England is the head of the church. You have the Anglican Church. They're all Christ-psychotic. They are very sick people. So they don't see the disorder. They don't see themselves as being sick. And then, of course, the Islam psychotics come around. They do that. They are more believers than the Christians because they kill themselves for the imaginary friend. Christians don't do that. I mean, they used to, but not now. And you see, and this is the problem. This is the problem here. Christ psychosis, the religion, the cancer of the brain, the HIV of the brain that nobody seems to see. Religious psychosis, religious HIV.
Ask yourself, what is the organ that create the deluded beliefs of God and the deluded belief of schizophrenia?
About 30 or 30 years old or something, but
See? Yeah, obviously, look at this. He's going to go to heaven. He's going to get all the virgins and everything. He's a true believer. Why the Christ psychotics, instead of going to church and pray, well, they go to the Grand Canyon, stand on the ledge, and say, in Jesus' name we jump. And they go and get the zombie Jesus and everybody over there in heaven. Be like the Islam psychotics. See, they're true believers. They're believing all this. This is the problem, friends. Religion is a mental illness. And these people will die just for their faith, for their psychosis, to be in heaven with the Prophet Muhammad and the angels and they call the Houris, and all this gold for eternity. They're going to have their penis Christ adore for all eternity with all this over 70 virgins. Actually 72, it means it's 72 sects of Islam. That's what it means. That means grapes, it means the vagina. And also orifices that give you pleasure. So that's what it means. It means that you penetrate whatever you like. You like a guy, you can do it too, in the butt, and you like a woman in the butt also. Because in heaven, you can get all these pleasures that are forbidden when you are here on earth. But in the moment that you are in heaven, you can do anything you want. You can be gay if you want, and it's good. You see, because over there everything is permissible because you are in heaven for eternity enjoying the pleasures that you could not get on earth. And that's the reason these people kill themselves. They are true believers. That's Islam psychosis for you, friends. And see. And the way to actually get rid of all this is for you to declare religious beliefs are mental illness, all of them, believe in God. And then all these people that do that, and they're trying to, you actually hang them and put pig's blood on them. And you recite some prayers in front and televise it to everybody and hang these people where they are already dead. You take the remains and you sprinkle with the pig blood on top of them, and you recite the prayer, so they can never go to heaven and get the virgins. So every time somebody's suicide bomber comes around, you get the remains and you do that. And people that survive like this, don't put them in jail, don't put them in trial. No, you cut their heads off and you put pig's oil in it when you recite it. So everybody, there is somebody that's trying to kill somebody with a suicide vest like that. No, you grab them and you actually put them in, you televise them, put them in, like in London, in this case, put them in London Bridge, cut their heads off and put pig's oil and blood in front of them and recite all the prayers and put smoke on like hocus pocus, so the Muslim would just panic. They will absolutely panic, and they will never do that because they know they're not going to get the virgins, because the Christ psychotics will actually do all these prayers on them, put pig's blood on them, and they prevent them from reaching heaven. That's what you do. You treat a psychosis, delusions, fairy tale with another psychosis, delusion, fairy tale. That's what you do. That's the way you treat this psychosis with. And who's going to say that it doesn't work? Because they're expecting heaven and the virgins, and you Christ psychotics, put pig blood on and you prevent them from reaching heaven. There you have it.